Hello, hello, hello. Hey now, how y'all doing? Hello. Welcome to Ask Alma. That's right. That's where you are. Ask Alma Live. And I'm so glad you're here because you know why? I'm Alma. That's right. I can't do it without you. I wouldn't want y'all to leave me here by myself. You know, that'd be kind of embarrassing. So come on in, say hello to me so I can say hello to you. Tracy, who is usually the first one to say hello. She ain't coming in to say hello because she already here to say hello when I introduce the panel. So, hello. What's going on? Y'all in the DMV? Doug Levy, I am so happy to see you. How are you? I think you are watching from California. Hey, Pat Walker. Pat, you know I was going to call you, right? Because I was going to be like, you got to log in. I know you got personal business to take care of and everything, but you need to time that so it's not on a Tuesday at 7 because that is when you belong to me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Pat, welcome, welcome. Doug, let me know. I think you're in California. Let me know. I know Rosie watches from Seattle. Oh, you're in DC today. It's cold. I hope you brought a jacket. It's cold and rainy and yeah, all of that today. Um, but welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad you joined us. Really, it means the world to me. Come on in, because we have a fun show today. Got a couple of questions that need a bit of advice. And usually, I think the panel will follow me on this a little bit, but tonight's questions, I'm not sure. I might be on the island by myself. We'll see, because y'all know. Y'all know how it can be. So come on in here. And Mary Lou, how are you? I'm going to mention you this evening, Mighty Lords Baden Price, Miss Baden. I'm thrilled to be here to take it. Thank you, Doug. We've known each other a long time, haven't we? Sean, how are you? Hello, hello. I'm so glad you're with us tonight. I will bring on my esteemed panel. I'm telling y'all, they're fabulous. So I am not going to hold them up. Come on in here, panel, so I can introduce y'all. Dee
Hey, Elma. It's good to
how
see you.
are
We missed
you?
you. I'm good. We missed you last
Yes.
week. How you doing?
Last week we were off, so everybody could go vote.
Vote.
And,
And I hope
and
everyone did.
I really hope they did too.
Hello, hello.
Tracy, y'all know this is my first cousin.
Right.
We grew up living next door to each other.
And been next to each other
I am choking.
all this time. All these, how many years? I won't say.
Well, Tracy, I'm used to looking in the comments for you. So, like, having you right here,
Oh, I know.
because usually you cheer me on. So I'm like, oh, where's Tracy? Because she's getting ready to say, yeah,
Cause
DC.
girl,
I'm like, well, she is
let me
it.
tell you, you be telling it just like I be wanting to say it, but I can't get it out fast enough, right? Shoot. Hello, Mary Lou. She
Well, Alma is taking care of that cough that she got. We have another panelist, DJ. Thank you, DJ. Welcome.
It
You're
is a
gonna,
pleasure to be here. I've watched the show. I've laughed, and I said, you know what? I am going to have to go on Ask Alma so that I can enjoy some of the laughter that you guys give me. So it's a pleasure to be here.
well, it's a pleasure
well,
to have you. We have two veterans here today, right? Tracy and DJ, you're both
yes,
veterans of the Air Force, is that right?
that's correct.
That's correct.
But you got other things
Mhm.
going on now, right?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of writing at home. So if anybody needs arrangements for jazz vocal, hit me up. And but I'm also working part time at the School of Rock, and I really enjoy working with these young people. We teach them theory through performance, and it's a lot of fun.
Where is that?
It's right here in Alexandria off of Duke
Okay.
Street. Yeah. So I started doing that a little while ago, and yeah, it's like I said, it's a lot of fun teaching these young people how to, work a stage and get an audience on their feet and all that fun stuff that
Oh
we
yeah,
like to
that sounds
do.
like a good time.
Yeah.
And DJ, what do you do after you've served us for many years? What do you have going on now?
Well, after I retired from the military, I was in the Air Force for 21 years. 21 years of the greatest time of my life. But shortly after that, I became a little sick, and I required to have a organ transplant.
Oh wow.
Actually, three organ transplants. I had a liver and two kidney transplants. So I want to give a shout out to my Donate Life family, and also for my UNOS family, which is the United Network of Organ Sharing. Um, and while I have a second here, I would like to ask one favor. In the African American community, there's a shortage of donors, of people registering to be organ donors. So I'm also a part of a task force that's called the African American Outreach Task Force. And primarily, what our mission is to encourage and to make people aware of the fact that we desperately need people to register to be organ donors. We don't need your organs right now. We just need them when you no longer need them. So get out there. You can actually go to my website, which is djdonatelife.org, or you can go to beadonor.org and register to be an organ donor. So do that thing. Do it.
Could you give us the website again? Maybe we can get those in the comments. Tell us
Oh,
the
okay.
websites again.
Oh, so the first one is DJ, my initials, DJ Donate Life, DONATELIFE.org. And the other is the organization that handles organs here in this area, and that's Be a Donor, BEA donor.org.
Okay, I think they're in the comments if anybody is interested in that. I see an arm.
Yeah, I hope she's okay.
Yes, Alma.
Uh-oh.
Oh, she's
There
muted.
she
Yay, she's
is.
Yeah, there
back.
she is.
You're muted again, so we need you to unmute.
I'm glad somebody muted me because I was coughing up a lung.
Well, why? Like
Oh my
you
goodness.
wait till you're in the space by yourself to start eating cough drops. So please don't do that.
No, I was so what, 2 weeks? I had COVID and I had bronchitis. But
Oh,
last
wow.
Tuesday we weren't doing the show anyway
Right.
because we were going to vote, and so I was fine today until the show started. I think it was
Mm,
because I talked more in
yeah.
this moment than I have in the past 2 weeks. So
Well, can you get rid
I'm
of that
better.
cough drop till 8 o'clock for us?
I know that's right.
Without the cough drop, it would be a whole lot worse.
Oh,
But
okay.
I will say, thank you, Bessie. Yes, I've been drinking ginger tea. But what I think is funny is um, my husband hella flew down here and said, "Are you
Oh,
okay?"
good, good,
Oh.
good, good.
Oh
Thank you.
my gosh.
Thank you, Mr.
Oh my
Gill.
gosh. I know. I would never like fall off the screen. He was like, "Are you okay?" I was
Mm.
like, I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine. So thank y'all so much. I know y'all kept it going because that's the
Well,
kind of
we
crew I
added
have.
DJ added the websites for the organ donation for African Americans. We've added those to the chat. And
Excellent.
Tracy talked about her what's the rock? Tell me again. What's the school
School.
called? School
School.
of
School of
Rock.
Rock.
School of Rock in Alexandria. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, I have nothing to report, so no news is good news. Um, oh, I do have one thing. I'm approaching my internships for my master's degree. So if
Oh,
anybody needs an
congratulations.
intern, in the summer and the fall, please, hit me up. I'll be graduating next December.
Oh,
Right on.
All
congratulations.
right.
Congratulations.
Wonderful. That's
So it took me
wonderful,
30
D.
something years to get around to doing it. But yeah, I'll be looking for internships in the summer and the fall. So if you're out there and you need a school counselor, please let me know so I
Right.
can come work with you.
Right on.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you guys for your well wishes. I did want to shout out well wishes to one of our fan favorites. She is a Ask Alma diehard, and we love her dearly. Marie Lords has to start chemo, and
Mm.
I hope we got the pictures of her. She showed up for her first chemo session, the diva that she is. Showed up with a jacket that said, and Mary Lou, tell me in the comments, uh, it said, cancer sucks.
Mm.
And she had on a pink tutu. Hi,
Oh
Losh.
yeah.
Right.
Thanks for joining us. She wore her fabulous pink tutu to
That's
her
right.
first chemo session, and
Right on.
she gonna make it do what it do and
I
take
know
care of
that's
this
right.
thing and get better. And we are so proud of her and sending
Yes.
out well wishes, all of our prayers,
Yeah.
and we're looking out for you and can't wait for you to be back on the show. The other thing I saw on the internet, I just wanted to run it by y'all real fast. It wasn't one of our questions, but it said a mother had volunteered to watch her grandchildren, um, and now she wants to be paid for it. So, what do y'all think about paying grandma to watch the kids?
Well, is it an 8 hour gig or we talking just a couple hours after, on a
Right.
Saturday or after work or something? I mean, because, I don't have grandchildren yet, but I can only imagine that I would love to have them all the time. But if you're not used to having kids around, and it depends, I would think on the age of the grandparents, they
Right.
and having the, I don't know. I think that if it's gonna be an 8 hour gig, then yeah,
Right.
some coins need to pass.
Right. And if she
Right.
started doing it just sort of to support her daughter or son or whoever, but if the 2 hour days turn into 6 hours or 7 hours
Yeah.
because you went to get your nails done or your hair done or whatever, because of course you're going to take a little bit of advantage of that, then I would say yes, she should be paid. My mom used to come to us. So she'd come
Mm-hmm.
visit, stay as long as
Right.
she could take it, and then she would go home. Like I didn't send my child to her house. She was like, "Oh, I'll come visit you." So when she was done, she was done. But she, even as young as she was, she said, keeping grandchildren is a lot of work.
It
It
is a lot of
is.
work.
And if you're going to do it all week for multiple hours a week, yeah, go ahead and slide grandma some money.
Is that
You,
what it
you're
is?
gonna pay
Every
way more to hire a real, a daycare provider. You're gonna pay con-
Oh, now that goes
astronomical
in the
amount of
budget.
money. That right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can hook up grandma.
Yeah.
is it an everyday thing where she's watching them every day?
It said that she volunteered and now she wants money. That's basically what they were talking about in the chat. So
As
I
you
think
said,
maybe she,
15 and 21 are excellent ages for grandchildren.
Yeah.
the
Right.
age of her
Those little
grandchildren.
ones, yeah, those little ones will wear you out.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of little grandkids, I'm just going to tell this story real fast. We're going to move on. So Ava and I are walking in the grocery store. It has the door, do not enter. But sometimes you want to go through that one because that's the closest one you get to. So we're walking. She's like, "Oh, grandma, it says do not enter. We can't go through this one." I was like, "Oh no, yeah, we can." She was like, "But it says do not enter." I said, "That's for everybody else. That's not for me. They weren't talking to me when when they put that up." So she said, "Well, what does that mean?" I said, "They not talking to grandmas. Like they talking to everybody else, but grandmas can go through any door that they want to go through." "Oh no, grandma, we have to follow the rules. If
That's
we
right,
don't follow
Grandma.
the rules, that's right. If we don't follow the rules, you might go to jail." "Oh, grandma, they don't have grandmas in jail. So you might be the only one.
Grandma, yeah.
Maybe, maybe it's three." It's like, you think it's three grandmas in jail? Okay,
Three.
girl.
Well,
But that
please
was
follow the
cute.
rules.
Please
You
follow
break
the
the rules and then you send those kids to school.
exactly. Yes,
Stop
yes.
it.
She was adamant. We cannot break the rules. I was like, okay.
Thanks,
I know
Ava.
Tracy, man, you laughing
That's
because she
right.
don't know her grandma does. She done broken many a rule.
Oh goodness.
I'm a preacher's daughter. It is like my
Oh,
Oh,
duty
there
to
yeah.
break a
it is.
rule.
There's the picture.
There's Mary
Oh,
Lou.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
There she go
I
in
love
the
it.
there
tutu, girl,
I
getting
love
her
it.
first
That's
chemo
right.
session. That
That's
is
how you do
beautiful,
it.
isn't
fantastic.
it? That is
That's how
so
you do it.
beautiful.
We all
Yes,
need
that
those
is.
jackets.
I
Yes, we
know.
do.
I need one of those tutus.
Mm,
Sending love out to you, Mary Lou. That's fantastic. And
Mm-hmm.
hopefully we'll motivate many going through
Yes.
many different
yeah.
things, not just
Yeah.
chemo, but if you got something on your plate, dust
Sometimes
yourself
you got to
off, put
just throw a
your
tutu on and dance. Okay.
Right.
That's right.
exactly. Put your lip
Hmm.
gloss on and your tutu and go on in there and face that bad boy.
Right.
That's
That's
it.
wonderful. That
That's
is
how you do
wonderful.
it.
Uh-huh. So we have 3 questions tonight, you guys.
Okay.
And I want to thank Yanni Soul in advance, who did a fantastic job reading the questions for us tonight. So let's get started with question number 1. Oh, my disclaimer. Thank you. That's a wink to who in the background. I couldn't do this without him. So we want to remind everybody we are not psychologists with PhDs. We just fabulous folks with common sense, okay? And we here to give it to you. We gonna be kind. Don't worry about it. We ain't gonna call you no names, but we're gonna give it to you
Yeah.
straight and let you know. Most times,
She's just like,
because we have gone through quite a bit of stuff ourselves. So now, without any further ado, here we go with question number 1.
Hey y'all, my name is Yanni Soul and this is Alma Live, baby. Shout out to the Commanders for landing the Eagles for their first loss of the season. Go Commanders! Now, I am this week's VVR, so let's get into these questions. Question number 1. Dear Alma, I am recently separated from my husband. We've been married for 9 years. When you say out of the game, I am totally out of the game, and I know nothing about dating or getting ready to go back out and hit the streets. There is a guy, however, at work that I like, or should I say he's fine. Fine. I'm on the executive track, and he works in the company cafeteria. Did I say he was fine? LOL. I'm sure I could date him because he has made it clear that he is totally interested in me, but I can't get past that he cannot complete a sentence correctly. This slang is just a bit too much for me. A part of me wants to spend time with him without anybody knowing about it. I know that sounds wrong, but can you date somebody for a minute so you won't be lonely, especially when they find, but not have any intentions of building a relationship? Because he really isn't the type of man that I can see myself with long term.
All
Oh,
righty now. So we'll recap the question. I love that she says she's been out of the game for a while. Hi, Rosie. Rosie's in Seattle.
yeah. Hi, Rosie.
Um, so she kind of likes this dude, but
Mhm.
she's on the executive track, and she doesn't like that he speaks slang and doesn't really complete sentences, but he's fine. So she wants to know, which sounds to me like she's asking a little bit about karma, what goes around comes around. But she's saying, hey, when you jump back out there, can you kind of mess around with somebody that you know is not long term, but you know, you want to see if it's nice to kind of hang out and have a good time. So, what y'all say?
Don't do it.
well,
There's
don't
so
do it.
many
I don't
pieces
know.
to
I
this.
think
Go
it
ahead,
depends on
Tracy.
what it
No,
is you
don't.
want from him. I mean,
What'd
if
you
she
say,
says that
Tracy?
she's just, I think it has to do with what it is that she wants from the relationship. You
Hmm.
know what I
And
mean?
she
I
needs
mean,
to be honest with him up front
yeah,
to
Yeah.
let
because if
him know, because if she draws him in and he gets attached and everything, and all of a sudden she can't deal with the slang language and all of that, especially if they're
exactly,
out at dinner with a bunch of professionals and he starts using his slang and every, then she's going to get upset about that, you know,
Right.
and then there's going to start to be problems, and don't
Well,
do it.
And he works
she
with
don't
her.
have
See,
to be
don't.
taking him to dinners though.
He works in
I
the
mean,
No.
cafeteria.
you know what I'm saying? She don't have to be taking them nowhere. They could just be hanging out at home, and that could
Yes.
be the relationship.
But for
And
how long? I mean,
well,
eventually
well,
you're going to want to, if you're going out with
if
someone, you want to go out with them.
Not
but it depends on
necessarily.
what you're going out for.
Or what you
Hmm.
stand in for.
Or staying in
Right.
for. Right.
Duh, clearly we having one conversation and they having another
Another.
conversation.
She
Right.
has. There's so many pieces to this because first of
Yeah.
all, she's just broken up with her husband, so she probably shouldn't be jumping out there anyway. She probably needs a minute to
She's
adjust to
vulnerable.
that. She wants somebody that is going to fill the gap until she figures out what she wants to do with her husband. I think they call it sneaky link now, but we had other names for it back when we were,
Right.
whoever this person is. But it doesn't sound like she really wants like to date. She just wants somebody to hang out with, and he's fine. And fine, wears off when you can't have a
Right.
conversation,
That's true.
or
But she
or
said that she couldn't see herself with him long term. So if it's just a week or two thing, I say go for it. Have
well,
some
yeah,
fun.
we are in agreement, Tracy. She
Yeah,
can
but
most certainly.
I don't think
It
they're
just has
talking
to be
about a week
clear
or
what the
two.
intention. It just has to be clear what the intention is. If he
Mm-hmm.
Right.
thinks she's fine and they can just go hang out for the weekend or whatever, then if they're both in agreement, then yeah, go ahead and do it. But if he's looking for, something more and
Right.
she's
And
not,
she
then
needs to
that's
make
going
that
to
clear from
make
the
it
very
very clear from
From
the
beginning.
the very
beginning.
beginning. And
Mm-hmm.
also, I mean, this isn't the only fine man that's out there. She should go and, seek someone where maybe she can find someone that doesn't speak lang or, you know, speak the slang or whatever
Right.
they call it and everything. He's not the
Right.
only fine person that there is. I mean, is
Yeah.
he?
Oh no.
Well, Mary Lou says she's looking for a bed warmer. She needs to just buy a blanket and stay away from him.
Right.
A weighted
And she
blanket.
also said she may lose her job because she is getting involved with someone that is below her in status and a subordinate in her company. Because
And
if
Yeah,
he,
Kelly
if
that's
it, if
true.
it doesn't work out, he's gonna blow up her.
gonna
It's
come
gonna be a
upstairs.
mess.
He gonna come
Yeah.
Right.
He's gonna
upstairs.
come right up
Yeah.
to her office and start
Yeah.
talking
And
stress
say
to her,
something
Right.
crazy.
or
Yep.
start
And
serving
Kelly
her
said
all nasty food.
Kelly said fine isn't worth the drama that is to come with the slang. Yes,
Mm.
yes.
Right.
Kelly, that's another one of our first cousins. Hey
Hey
girl.
Kelly.
I'm glad the family's in the house tonight. I haven't dated in a long time, so I
I think
you know.
she can get her little blanket or her bed warmer if she wants it. She should not be shopping at work for that. She
Right.
should go
Right.
Yeah,
find somebody that isn't at her job that can do the same thing and be as fine, and she can hide from him if she needs to. She can't hide from the guy in the cafeteria.
that's true.
That's true.
And I was thinking
Mhm.
he might be the first one that's showing a little bit of interest. And
Attention.
Attention.
sometimes you get right attention, and sometimes you get
Mm-hmm.
caught up in that. So,
She's got to get out.
yeah,
I know it's hard. People are still nervous about COVID and everything, but get out, enjoy yourself, just be safe, be careful. But
yeah,
And
there's
know
other,
what you want. Don't be
But
out
she
there being
likely
all wishy
doesn't. If she's
washy.
just if she's just leaving her 9-year marriage, she probably has no clue.
mm-mm,
And
Yeah.
she really needs to resolve that all of that inner
Mm-hmm.
turmoil before she starts bringing other parties into the mix, because
right.
that would be a disaster.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Erica. So, what's our advice? You guys seem to totally agree and are on one accord that she needs a little bit more time um, to figure out what it is she's looking for and how she wants to receive it. Because right now, there's so many parts to this. You
Hmm.
can tell that she clearly isn't ready
Right.
Right.
for what she's asking for. Yeah.
And
She
Mm-hmm.
have
needs
an
to she
honest,
needs to call an old boyfriend or something. Find dig out
well,
her little book and.
have an honest conversation with this guy and everything, and just be upfront with him and let him know, this is just for a short period of time, or, you know,
Right.
you know,
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Someone
Or
wants to know if he's part of
let's
the prison release program.
Possibility.
Right.
Possibility.
He's the halfway house. That is his work release.
Well, teach
That's
them,
it.
Yeah.
there, and there. You know what I mean? So
Right.
Right.
that'll give y'all something
Yeah.
to talk
But you
about
know,
anyway.
some of that you can't. I mean, that is who people are, and I think it's
That's
unfair
true.
for her to decide that he needs to speak a certain language because that's what she
Right.
wants.
What she
But
It,
prefers.
that
But
might
but
be
she needs to.
her. That might be her game change. Like some people have one thing. Like, what is the one thing that you just will not like?
Put up with.
Okay, you know what I mean, right?
deal
DJ,
breaker,
Yeah.
right?
what is your one deal breaker, DJ?
My one deal breaker of when I'm
Yeah,
looking for someone,
yeah.
um,
One
just
thing that you are not gonna bend, and it's just a no.
just a negative person. There's some people out there who are just negative from the beginning,
Yeah,
and you can
yeah,
tell that automatically.
Right.
yeah.
If you see that, within the first hour of someone, I'm gonna sit there the whole time just looking at them. And then, but I'm also going to be honest with them and just be upfront with them and tell them, hey, I don't think this is going to work. And I'm going to be honest with them and tell them why, because maybe that's the reason why, they're not with someone,
Right.
at that time.
Mhm,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
everyone deserves honesty about what it is that you don't like about
Right.
them,
Yeah.
and from the same standpoint, that person, with you and everything. That's
Yeah.
why it's called, dating, to go out
Right.
there and, let people know what it is that you're looking for and what you want,
Mhm.
out of a relationship.
Mhm.
Um, and, if someone comes up to me and they start speaking slang and I have to, what? I don't,
I
I
don't
Right.
know what you're
I
I
saying.
don't
I
have no idea what
understand.
you're saying
Right.
right
Yeah.
now, and I'm just not at a point in my life where I want to figure out what it is that you're
Right.
saying.
Decipher.
So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
push it on
Yeah.
through. There's
Yeah.
other fine people out there.
Right.
Tracy, what's a deal breaker for you?
Arrogance. I cannot take an arrogant person.
Oh.
It's just something about those type of people, and then they have to be right about everything all the time.
Yeah.
No,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
I don't have the patience. I just
Yeah.
don't, and so I don't engage. I
Yeah.
typically will walk away. Well, it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Because I know that I was dating this one guy that I don't know. I think he knew that I didn't like that about him, and he just said stuff just to make me mad. You know what I'm saying? Because we
Right.
argued,
Right.
Just
we
trying to
argued a
aggravate
lot.
you, huh?
Yeah, we argued a lot. But
Yeah.
needless to say, that didn't last long, right?
I was
Didi,
gonna say,
what's one
was
of
he
your
fine?
right?
Was
What?
he
Look,
fine?
Was he fine?
that's why it lingered, DJ, for a couple of days, couple
Was
of
he
weeks.
fine?
Right.
Uh, Didi, what's one of your deal breakers?
I was listening. I was listening to DJ and Tracy. Like at 30, anybody butchering the English language would have been a no deal. That would have been like, oh
Yeah.
no, you gotta go. But now
Yeah.
it's probably no kids under 17.
Wow.
Mm,
I'm just not.
Yeah.
My child's grown, and I hope your children are grown. And I love children, and I have 45 of them every day. And
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to negotiate what we do and how we do it because you have children or grandchildren, and that's. I mean, it sounds mean, but I've done all of
No,
that.
it
Mm-mm.
is
no.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the. I don't
Yeah.
like. I'm meeting grown men now in their late 50s with 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh
No.
Right.
Yeah.
So am
no,
I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We ain't doing that.
No.
No.
I love
No.
that you love your kids, but
Right.
no, can't do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But that's good. You're honest about it. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, you guys, since I know what question number two is, while question number two is playing, I'm going to grab my water. So,
Okay.
Okay.
let's listen to question number two.
All right, let's get into question number 2. Dear Alma, I love my father dearly. He is vibrant, active, funny, and 85 years old. He is also still driving, which worries me to death. When is the age to take keys from your elderly parents, and how do you go about having that conversation with them? I appreciate any advice you could share.
I thought this was a great question. So for those of us who have older parents who are still driving, at what point do you have the conversation because they need to stop driving?
I have,
So
I
Tracy, you go.
okay.
I'm sorry.
Tracy, you go first.
Well,
And this is not directed
I
at Aunt
know.
Tony in any way. Just
I
let me shout
know.
out to my Aunt Tony. We ain't talking about you, Aunt Tony. Got mad love for you. It was just a question that was sent in, and we're talking about it.
And it's a good question because it's a question that it's a conversation we're going to have. But as of now, we haven't had to have the conversation because when she does go out, she is very careful, excuse me, about the time she goes out. Like she doesn't
Mm.
go out during rush hour or anything like that.
Oh,
Or
okay.
yeah, and she also knows that there's even certain times in between rush hour. There's certain times on Richmond Highway. She may not need to be out there, so she'll take the Parkway. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Mhm.
she's a
Hmm.
very safe driver. Now she knows to stay in the right lane. She knows not to get into that left lane and passing out. And she hasn't
Yeah.
been in any accidents or anything like that. And actually, she drives like a bat out of hell, to be honest. Okay. So I really haven't had to have the conversation yet, but I would think because I do keep an eye on her and where she's going, and that sort of thing, that when the time comes, I'm just gonna have to be honest with her and let her know, look, this has happened, this has happened, this has happened, and okay, maybe you lose your license, maybe you lose your life.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So Bessie said that John's mom just stopped driving and she just turned 99.
Mhm.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
Mama, I'm telling you, yeah, she's a great driver. She is. She's an
Yeah.
excellent driver for her age. So,
Yeah.
knock
Dee
on
Dee,
wood, I
does your
won't have
mom
to.
drive?
No, my mother's never driven, but I was just thinking we did a story about this in New Jersey. About when is a good when I was in New Jersey, when is a good time because we had a woman who had like 18 hit and runs.
Mm.
She just couldn't see. She was just, popping people off and not even realizing that was happening. And when they finally caught her, because she'd go out at night to the grocery store and just, hit people on the side and not realize it. Um, and we talked about states, requiring people to retest.
Yes.
And then,
Mm.
AARP got on it and it was like, oh, no, 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 you can't do that. If they're able to drive, they should be able to. I had a coworker who convinced her father that the state wanted all of them to retest on their birthday.
Mm.
So he would go, she'd be able to prove to him that he really couldn't see as well as he could, and then
Mhm.
he was willing to give up the keys. My aunt just gave up the keys. She just said she missed a turn or something, and she said I shouldn't do this anymore. So hopefully the adult will say I can't do it anymore, but it's another thing that you're taking away their freedom. So it's possible that they won't do that. Yeah, but it's a difficult topic to have. But I think I would trick if my mom drove, I think I would trick her and say, you got to
Well,
go to motor vehicle and take another test, and then they would tell her, and then I wouldn't have to tell her.
Mhm.
I
So
think
Pat
Mama
says
would. I
start with
think
the.
Mama would. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna
Go
say
ahead,
Pat
Trace.
says go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that I would think that I think Mama would be that way too, as far as turning in the keys herself.
Mhm.
I really think that she would say, because she already is complaining about not liking to drive.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, and she's
Yeah.
already she loves a Uber, but she want me with her, but she loves the Uber you
Oh,
know
really? Because
oh
that's
yeah.
what. Who
And
just
Pat
mentioned
Pat
Uber?
says
Pat.
that. She says start with the
Hmm.
general topic like, are you comfortable driving at night or would you rather we come with you? Mention how Uber works, but if there's a real concern, contact his physician. Yeah, my
Yeah.
mom takes cabs everywhere. She absolutely has done it her whole life. So
Right.
she's very
I'm
Right.
comfortable
good in a
on that.
cab, but I'm not necessarily comfortable in Uber yet. I'm just saying. But DJ, what are your comments about the older parent and
My mother
driving?
my mother just turned 86 2 weeks ago, and
Oh, okay. Happy
she's
birthday to your mom.
yeah, she still drives. Now, my mother was driving before she had a license.
So is mine.
and she's always been careful. She's never been in an accident. My mother has never even received a ticket, a speeding ticket or anything.
Mhm.
And we're always talking to her about this, and all of us are at the point where she she's the type of person where if she feels that she doesn't need to be driving anymore, she's going to turn her keys into us because
Yeah.
she knows she has so many other outlets, that are available to her to get to the grocery store, to
Right.
get to the doctors, and all of those different things like
Right.
that. But for
Right.
right now, at 86, and she's an excellent driver. She won't
Hmm.
let when I fly into Dayton, she won't let anyone else pick me up at the airport. She's the only one that can take me there. Um,
Does she let you drive her when you get there?
Yes, she does do
Okay.
that. So, like, if we're going out to lunch or something like that, I will drive over to her house and we'll take her car to the restaurant or everything. Um, but yeah, she's good like that. She's like I said, she's an excellent driver. She's never had any accidents or anything like
Hmm.
that. And
Well, I
she is,
imagine most of your mothers are very familiar with their areas, so they could probably travel around the whole state without getting on a highway,
oh
or
yeah,
That's
and
being
true.
able, right. So
but
they know how to maneuver without having to be in traffic.
right,
Right.
but
Hmm.
she still gets on the highway.
Okay.
She gets on the highway to go to her doctors. She gets on the highway to go to the mall. She still hangs out at the mall, and she's everywhere. And there's times that I'll call and I won't get her at home, for an hour or two, after trying and everything, and then I get worried. But I just got to the point where I don't even get worried anymore because, she
She gonna do
probably
her thing.
She's
yeah,
out
she
shopping.
probably
Hmm.
drives better than me.
Right.
I mean,
I
in
I
date,
call my mama Go Betty,
right?
right? Because
And I
My
asked one of the,
mom.
I have a Mercedes convertible sitting in my garage in Dayton, and I
Mhm.
asked her. I asked her at one point in time. I said, "Do you want that car, the convertible?" And she thought for a minute. She said, "Let me think about it." But
You
but
can
she would
ask
love
me,
it.
DJ. I think the next time you
I
can
was
ask
right,
me
yeah.
if
uh,
even when I'm in Dayton with my cousins,
Hey,
maybe I can drive it while I'm there.
you
I'm just
could you
saying.
can stay at the house. You could drive the car. You
I
do
would
anything that
love
you
that.
want to. I
Well,
tell
I'm
you.
coming.
We got a birthday party coming up, so I'm gonna call you about that.
That's fine.
Well,
My mom.
Pat says, do you
Oh,
think it's more difficult for men to acknowledge that it's time to give up the keys?
yes, I
Mm.
do. I totally agree with that. And I was going to bring that up too. I also was going to mention my mom, who everybody knows has passed away. God bless her. Was an awesome driver. Drove forever without a license. She used to talk about how her father had a Model T, only like two of them could fit in the car or whatever. But she never got a ticket, but she got pulled over once for going too slow on 95. And I was like, Mom, like you gotta speed up. She was like, I ain't going no faster than that. I was like, but the police gonna pull you up. Like you on the highway. You gotta go, remember they bumped up the speed limit. Remember it used
Mm-hmm.
to be 55 and then it went to 60 or something like that.
Right,
And she was
right.
like, no, I'm not. I'm not. So the police pulled her over. I'm sitting there. So he said, ma'am, you're going too slow. I'm gonna need you to speed up. She said, I ain't going no faster than what I was. I said, now you gonna tell the police officer?
Yes.
He
That's
just
right.
laughed. He was like, okay, what exit are you getting off? Because I'm gonna have to ride with you. And she was like, I don't have that far to go. I'm just going right down here and I'm gonna be getting right off. And he was like, okay, ma'am, I'm not gonna write you a ticket.
They made
I'll
the
hang
minimum.
behind
They made
you.
the minimum speed limits for her. Like they're not
Exactly.
at
She
that
was
Right.
minimum
like,
range.
uh-uh.
You can go 40 over here.
So Diane, hi Diane, one of my favorites. How are you, girl? So she says we had to get my mother's physician to. Okay, that's what Pat Walkup had mentioned, getting the physician involved. This
Mm.
lets the family off the hook when a parent refuses to relinquish the keys when they are at risk. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
And I think for fathers, it may be a little bit more difficult. I'm
Difficult.
not saying
I
that
think it
all
is.
moms, but definitely with dads, I think you kind of have to like
How old was your
come up.
father when he stopped driving?
My father,
Yeah.
2 days before he went to the hospital and
I was gonna say,
And how old was he then?
I don't
like,
think Rev Martin ever
yeah.
stopped
He
driving,
never
did he?
stopped
He
driving,
ain't
right?
never. Look, Red Martin ain't stopped driving. Red Martin didn't stop preaching. Now
Right.
Right.
the 2 days that neither one of those things worked together, I think he lived another 3 days, and that was it because he was
Right.
not having either one.
Right.
But he died at 80.
Okay.
So he was 80 years old when he passed away. So you guys know, I told you I was sick the past 2 weeks. I was so sick, and Ava was here, my granddaughter, and she saw me and she was scared. And she said, "Grandma, you're gonna be okay, right?" I said, "Yeah, I'll be okay." She goes, "Yes, because remember you promised me you would live to be 100. You
100.
promised." I was
Right.
like, "Oh Lord, I need to eat salads and start working out of bed."
You gotta, yeah.
That's a lot of
She
years,
looking at you
girl.
side eye
Right.
every
You
time
can't
you
break those
fall.
promises.
Yeah.
You promised. So I was just thinking about me at 90 something with the keys and her going, "Grandma, you gotta give up
Say,
your
it's
keys."
time to take those keys away.
I
Now,
think
Thank
it's
God.
great.
I did have a uncle, and I believe he was in his 70s. And when you're talking about taking the keys away, the mental abilities should come into play also.
Yeah,
Because my uncle, he was missing, and when they found him, um, and Alma, you would know I-75 in
yeah,
Dayton, Ohio.
yeah. Uh-huh.
They found him. He was driving down I-75 the wrong way.
Oh
Wrong
wow.
way.
Yikes.
Right, the wrong way.
Whoa. Wow.
And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. I was getting ready to say that's when it's time, but actually I
Yeah.
did that 2 weeks ago in Virginia Beach. So
Yikes.
but the street
Ooh.
was wide. That's all I'm saying. It was wide as hell. It
Uh,
really didn't
there
need
was
to
a
be that wide.
there was a do not enter sign. I'm sure
right
somewhere
there
near the
has
middle
to
of
be
the
there.
road.
No, okay, I'm gonna fess up. It was a whole doggone concrete thing between. And Gil was like, "What?
What
What
are
are
you
you
doing?
doing?" I was like, "Oh, okay." I thought it was,
You know, the one thing
but
we
it
have to
was yeah,
consider, one thing we have to consider is that, people that are in their 80s now, traffic and driving is so different than when it
It
was
it
when we
is.
is.
It
It
started
is
is
very
driving.
different.
totally
Yeah,
different.
The
it
cars
is
are
very, very
very
different.
different. The insanity on the roads is just like it's
Right.
Yeah,
different for us,
yeah,
and we're not 80.
yeah.
So I
Road
can
rage.
imagine. Right.
And
Oh
then,
my
I
gosh,
mean,
yeah.
and if an elderly person gets out there and, they're going slow, on
They're
the
going
highway,
slow
like,
anyway.
somebody's going to get mad. And the
Right.
Oh
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
situation could be totally different
turns into
where,
something else.
because if someone, passes them and flips them off or something like
Right.
that, you never know. Shoot,
Yeah.
grandma or grandpa could have a gun up under their seat,
I was gonna say
and
I've been
pulling it
flipped
out.
off by grandma and grandpa before.
And but they are that was the case with the woman in New Jersey. She was, driving along road. She had driven on forever. There was nobody out there before. So,
Right.
Yeah,
she was just hitting people. It's
Mm.
like
yeah.
just boom boom. So that must have been somebody's dog,
Been a
just getting
rock. Yeah.
going.
Oh my God.
Because she couldn't see, and the roads were very different from when she was, started driving.
Right.
Ted
Yeah.
said her father had Alzheimer's. That she said she borrowed the keys and never gave them back.
Hmm.
Mm.
I think with this woman who wrote in, our suggestion is that you get the physician involved.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the best
Course of action.
in course of action
Right.
because we don't think it would be an easy process for you to just say, "I need to get rid of them," and then that
Mm-hmm.
happen.
Right.
We're going to squeeze question number 3 in here because we're looking at we're 45 minutes into the show. See y'all newbies, how the time goes by so fast.
It
Too
does. It
fast.
does.
Way too fast.
Way too fast. D and I say that every Tuesday.
Very true.
Uh,
Yeah.
So
So
I know. So here we go with question number 3.
Now for our final question. Question number 3. Dear Alma, my best friend of 25 years lost her husband a year ago. We were all very good friends, she and her husband, me and mine. We did everything together. We went to the same church. We went on trips and vacations together. We even spent holidays together. Here's the problem. She recently came over in a brand new sports car. She has changed her hair and the way she dresses. I think she is suffering from a midlife crisis. I mentioned this to my husband and he said she's living her best life. I disagree totally, and I think I need to speak to her about her new ways. I want to bring to her attention that I don't even recognize her anymore. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I still want to be her friend. Do you think something like this could end a long-term friendship?
Ooh.
Okay, y'all, we're going to recap that question. And I know y'all
Ooh.
noticed that my grandbaby is commenting. She's upstairs by herself, so it's nobody to say, Ava. I see you. All right, girl. Okay, so this woman says her best friend's husband died about a year ago. And now her best friend is basically changed into somebody else. She's like high and fly and doing all these things that she is just not used to her doing or being. So I know what I think, and I don't want to dive into what I think, but she seems to think she needs to talk to her girlfriend and say, hey, are you suffering from a midlife crisis or something? Because you bought a new car, you don't dress the same, you don't act the same, and I just don't know if I like the new you.
She's not the same. She is a single woman now.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
She's
I
not the
mean,
same. Bessie, Lily, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to call her, said, mind your business. Mind your business.
I like that answer, Bessie.
Mind
Oh,
your
look,
business.
Ava said, okay, bye. Oh my gosh. She is
That's
so
what she
funny.
said.
And that's
Okay,
what she
bye.
should tell that lady. Okay,
Okay,
bye.
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 Right.
Yeah, let her change. Let her do her thing. Whether it's a midlife crisis or not,
Grief, it
it
could be
doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
anything, but she's
Yeah.
entitled to it.
I
She's
this
thought
is
the
Bessie,
the
I
same
think
thing.
hurting.
thing,
she's
She's
Pat.
jealous.
hurting. Is she
I
hurting
think she's
herself?
jealous too, Pat. I thought she
Okay.
was jealous too because everything that she named has nothing to do with
Their
the core
friendship.
of a person or what kind
Right.
of friend she is, you
Right.
know. And
Or
I
so I
mean,
And
don't
she,
know.
I'm sure she
that
did
she
like that her husband says she's living her best life, leave her alone.
right.
Yeah.
So you're supposed
right.
to
Yeah.
be on my side.
Right.
She
Right.
needs to be the dowdy old wife that goes on vacation with us. She can't be this chick
She
driving around in her
uh-uh.
convertible.
I don't know. If
I
it was
mean,
me, I'd be
it
like,
sounds
"Girl,
like
where'd you get that from? Let me go over there and get my hair done like that." Or,
exactly
you
right. You
know,
know, if she wants to be like that, why can't she, be like that? It sounds like she's
Exactly.
jealous. She wants a
Yeah.
new sports car. She wants a new wardrobe. She wants a whole new look.
She wants her husband to die so she can get her insurance money too.
I'm
right,
like, I
right,
didn't want to
right.
say that. I did not want to say that. She's like,
I
girl,
know,
that's what
right?
it looked like. Okay.
was he 5? You know?
Right,
Bosh said, was she dating the cafeteria guy?
right, right.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But yeah, like it doesn't sound like anything that she is mentioning. Um,
Is at her
yeah,
core. Is that
right.
her personality, her
Yeah,
commitment, her values? None of that doesn't sound like any of that's changed. She's just
Right.
changed outer things.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. And that's great
Yes,
because that means she's gotten on the other side of her grief. To me,
yes.
that's what it sounds
I
like.
think she's in it, but wherever she is in it, on the other side, wherever she's entitled to. I met a woman who's selling lamps, and I said these are beautiful lamps, and she said all my marriage, she'd been married 60 years or something. She said my husband refused to let me have girly stuff in the bedroom. She said he died six
Wow,
months ago. She redid the whole bedroom. It was crystal and glass and all kinds of stuff. And
right.
she said I can finally sleep in a room that looks like I want it to look.
Right.
Mm,
Yeah.
And this woman is being who she wants to be right now.
Yep.
And
Hmm.
if she needs a
mm,
new husband, then she out there, making it happen with her
yeah.
convertible, her new hair, and her new clothes.
Right. That's
And her new
right.
clothes.
Her
Right.
new
Right.
everything.
No, but just like Alma said, because she mentioned those certain things, the new convertible and the new wardrobe and
Hmm.
everything, it sounds like she's jealous because she doesn't have those things.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Or the option or ability to change, which she does. Like whatever she sees in her friend, If it's something inside of her that triggers, if she wants to shift and go in another direction, she can. And it's
Yeah.
sad that she doesn't know that. Instead of you looking to find fault in what your friend is doing and shifting and changing her life a little bit, maybe she can look at her own self
Now, is
and
she married?
shift and change.
Was she
And maybe
married?
she has.
The
Yeah, they
woman
used to
is still
they used
married.
to yeah, they used
Yeah.
to double date
Or
and
she
do
was
all that
married?
stuff together,
Well,
right?
maybe she feels like she can't do that because of the fact that the other young lady, she lost her husband. She still has hers. So she can't make that change that she wants to make because she is still married. And
Still married.
yeah,
Right, but that's why I was telling her, DJ, I don't know, I hear some typing. I
I
don't
know.
know
I
if
was
you
trying to
guys can
figure
hear
out what
that
it was.
typing. Um, I want to tell her one married woman from one married woman to another. Oh my goodness, is that my cousin Leela? Girl, I'm so glad you're watching in Alabama. But you can change just because you've been married for a long time doesn't mean you
right.
can.
Right.
Your husband, girl, if you really thought about some changes you wanted to make and went out and made those changes, I bet you your husband would be super
He'd be cheering
happy.
He
her
would
on
sure
like
I
would.
he
think
cheering on a
so.
Right.
friend.
I think so too.
Exactly.
Sure would.
Living. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Don't hold on or wait for something else to happen. Like you have to jump out there and do what you think you need to do
Yes.
to make yourself happy because then you actually allow everybody else around you to be happy.
Right.
If you
Right.
holding on to something, waiting for something to happen before you can shift, then you getting on everybody's nerves, like quite
Right.
frankly.
And that's
Um,
even, if you're in a relationship or you're married or something like that, it's fine to just go year after year doing the same thing. But you know what? Try to every 10 years or so, change it up or something like that, you know?
It sounds
absolutely.
like she's grieving their friendship. Like she's grieving the loss of the husband because the whole dynamic has changed now. So she may not really have a problem with the things that she's changing. She feels lost because she doesn't have that connection anymore. So she may just be grieving herself. But to be mad at her
But
because she
that's
bought a
still
new dress,
something yeah, but she's got to check that because if she's
yeah,
not saying like they don't talk anymore or the
right,
friend doesn't
right.
listen to her anymore or the friend doesn't invite her anywhere, she's not
Well,
saying
she don't fit in
anything.
the convertible, so she ain't like nobody. She went and got herself a two-seater. He said, "There's no room for you, girl."
Oh my goodness, check out my y'all check out my 9-year-old granddaughter.
I see her.
Everybody who's watching like this live stream because she's so funny. She
Like
was
to my
like,
grandma, please.
she hopped in and liked the page 2 days ago. She was like, "I'm going to subscribe." I was like, "Okay, how you do that?" Because I didn't even know.
She
And what
said they
else did
was
she do?
practicing to take your show. Once you get the like and share and subscribe.
Absolutely. She said, "What do you call your followers? And do you have any merch?" I was like, "I ain't got no merch, but maybe I need to get some." It was so funny.
She's probably designing it as you speak.
As we
There you
speak.
go, right?
Yes,
Right.
indeed. Because no, I
Rosie is.
told
Go
go
ahead. I'm
ahead.
sorry, Alan. I was gonna
No,
say
go ahead.
Rosie said let her just live her life and friends should accept this phase in her friend's life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think so too.
Because
What
she
a,
Definitely.
gets to grieve however she needs to grieve
Yes.
and get past it.
Especially since she's not hurting any herself or anybody else
Right,
around her.
And if you can
It's
right.
grieve
just
with a brand new convertible and a whole
that's
new
Then
door
grieve
handle,
on sister.
girl.
I'm
girl,
telling you,
just
I had to
grieve
hang
grieve
on
with a
in there,
sister.
trip to
okay?
like Rustler, to go to Red Lobster and grieve.
It is so, so
oh
true.
gosh.
Didn't have a
She
Jesus here to die and leave money. That's what I had to-
right. And Pat said, "Is she worried about the widow attracting her own husband?" Hey,
Yeah.
that's
Woman
why I
to
told her she
marry.
better go get a haircut. She
Right,
better
Yep.
see?
go
She
and
better make
change
that change.
something.
And the
Yeah,
husband did say, let her, she's just living her best life. Let her, leave her be.
Right.
right. You
Exactly.
know,
Yeah. Yeah. Because
and
we all
some,
like that.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, with some people, it doesn't take a convertible for them to be happy or whatever. Um,
But it helps.
It don't hurt.
It
and
don't
maybe,
hurt.
Yeah.
maybe she got that convertible to find her a new man.
That's true. Or not.
or
Yeah.
Maybe
not.
she got that
Or
convertible because she ain't trying to find somebody to sit on the other side. She gonna put her new expensive
With a purse.
handbag on the seat
Me,
beside
me
her.
Oh
and my
God.
Birkin,
There you go. That's right,
That's
girl. Find
true.
you a
my
cute
That's
bag.
true.
suitcase, my
Uh
suitcase,
huh.
my handbag.
That's right.
That's all we need, right?
What you talking about?
I think our advice to her is you find out what you're looking for to make you happy, because your
Yes.
friendship is there. It's not about, like she was asking, saying, can you not have a friendship? Everything that you mentioned, in my opinion, doesn't warrant ending a friendship.
Right.
It basically is a moment where you should figure out what you need to learn in this moment. Like you wrote it, she wrote into us about her girlfriend, and basically my answer to her is, why don't you figure out what you need to learn in this moment? Because
Right.
she didn't mention anything that her girlfriend was doing that
Right.
was
Just be her
hurtful, or
friend.
exactly, yeah.
Because if I
So
show up at your house in my
why?
convertible, you just gonna hop in. We ain't having a conversation about,
Right,
where
Right.
it came
You
But I
from.
know.
would like, but I want to know why her changes bother this woman so
Yeah.
right,
much.
exactly.
Right.
That's what Pat said, is jealousy. The changes that she wrote about have nothing to do with being a best friend.
Right.
Those are
And for
changes.
her,
Those are interchanges. You know how people say you see a mirror. So you get mad at somebody because they bought a new pair of boots. Well, what is it? Did you want a new pair of boots? Because really,
Right.
what is that? Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
it's like the question is, why are you asking the question? Are these things worth ending a friendship? If you've been in a friendship with someone for 25 years, I mean,
25 years.
since childhood and everything, and
Right.
something like this is worth ending a friendship? Really?
You haven't been much of a friend
All
Right.
along.
all
Exactly.
along.
Right.
And
It's something like this.
speaking of friends, I think my granddaughter, I ain't gonna mention her no more. After this, gonna be my new best friend. When
She's
I
gonna be
figured
a
out you
YouTuber.
were a YouTuber, I was like, okay, I've got to help grandma be the
Be
best.
the best friend.
YouTuber ever.
Like, I need her to be my agent. She's only 9. Maybe until she turns 10, and then, pay her to be my agent. But yeah, I think I'm with Pat, and it sounds like you guys are right there too. Is that we're
Mhm.
talking about jealousy. We're not talking about
That's
reasons
yeah.
to end a
Right.
friendship.
Right.
And
That's
she
what
better
it
watch
is.
out, because the friend may not want to be her friend anymore.
Right.
Okay.
She might not have
Right.
to end the
She
friendship.
doesn't
The
have
other,
any reason to hang out with them anymore. She's the third wheel. Why would she want
No.
to hang out with
exactly.
them
Right.
anymore?
Right.
And
Right.
that may be the
Right.
problem, is that the friend doesn't maybe pulling away, and that's what she has the most problem with.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
my friend would go out and buy herself boots and buy me boots too if she had that kind of loot. So
Yes, we do that for each other, don't we? Those are the kind of friends you need.
if I show up
Yes.
in a
That's right.
convertible, we
Don't
just gonna
we,
get in and
Tracy?
ride.
That's right. Don't we, Tracy? Don't we,
Yes.
D?
Yes,
Yes,
We
we
be
we
like,
do.
do.
I like this, so I got one for you too.
Right.
Yes, those are the
Right.
friends you need. And we should just take a trip to Dayton so we can ride around in DJ's
Yes.
convertible and stay at the
No,
house.
he
Anytime.
also has a red Mustang. That's the car you want to ride in, with the white wall tires and the white and
I
leather
love
seats.
Dayton. I
It's
love
the
Dayton.
it was the first year that it was it's a 64 and a half
Oh my
Mustang.
God, are you
It
serious?
The
Wow.
first
is. I
So
love
one of
wait,
the
it.
DJ,
first
we
years that
need
came
you.
up.
DJ, we need you at the house too, because I love Dayton. My cousin is the mayor of Dayton. Shout out
Uh,
to Jeffrey Mims.
that's
Yeah.
it.
And so yeah, I love Dayton, and I think it's a fun place to go. So right at the end of winter, beginning of spring, I think we need to head on out.
And I'm
Um,
telling you right now, you're more than welcome to stay in my house. You're more than welcome to drive the cars. You can.
You don't know what you're
DJ,
saying.
Gil is
Yes, I
You
watching,
you
do.
right?
don't, because he hasn't
You
even given
do
me
know
that
Gil
kind
is
of
watching.
welcome.
I do.
Thank you guys for being with us tonight. I had a fabulous time with
Thank you
you.
I
so much,
did
and it
too.
was so
Thank
good
you so
seeing you,
much.
D.
Oh, I'm so
We appreciate
glad.
you.
I'm so glad. I hope
I
you
had
guys
so much
enjoyed it
fun.
enough to come back and do it again. And thanks to Yanni. Yanni Soul did a great job
Yes.
tonight reading the
Yeah.
questions. She did
Yes,
a
she did.
fantastic job. I
Thank
really
you.
She
appreciate
did.
it. And she turned that around in a day. So I might as
Wow.
well say in a couple of hours. So that was fantastic. I am so grateful to her for that. Um, love, love, love everybody who joins us every Tuesday at 7. Y'all know who you are. Thank you so, so much for hanging with us. And I appreciate you more than you know. I apologize for choking at the beginning of the
You
show.
even did it
That's
intentionally.
You
okay.
didn't do it intentionally.
I
But
know.
thank you guys for hanging with us. And thank you guys for keeping it going until I can get back over here in my seat. I appreciate all three of y'all. Have a great
Okay.
night, great night, great night. And we'll see y'all next Tuesday at
All
7.
right.
Bye
Bye.
Okay.
bye.
Bye bye.